to clean it up. All right, so now we're recording. By the way, you saw my ice bucket challenge, did you, Mr. David? Yeah, if it wasn't my mentor, Dr. Fagan, challenged me. So when he challenged me, I couldn't turn him down, and I had to step it up a notch. All right. So today we are going to be doing HTML, and we do have a gentleman behind the curtain, if you will. My partner in engineering and good friend of mine is joining us, Thomas the Toy. He might jump in and say something when I say something completely wrong, which may or may not happen. We'll see how this goes. I'm not a big fan of HTML.
Well, hopefully Mr. Pearson won't be saying anything too terribly wrong.
Exactly. So we need this big box. Oh, you got the... Okay, so you did get your big box. No, you're not going to need your big box today. We are going to be using that relatively shortly, I think even not next week, but the week after. So we're going to get you started in Scratch first, and then we'll go into the Arduino stuff. Let me get a quick poll here. Raise your hand if you've done any type of coding before. I think I already asked this last time. All right. David, you better put your hand up. All right. All right, so a few of you. All right, so we will get started. Whether or not we've done any coding before, any type of coding, Andrew. If you haven't, don't worry about it. When we do get into the coding section, I will break everything down, Big Bird, Cookie Monster style, so hopefully everybody can understand it. All right. And the reason I break it down that way is because that's the only way I can understand it if I break it down to the most simplest parts. All right, so today we are going to start with HTML. Let's go ahead and get started because we do got a lot of stuff to get through here. HTML, this is how web pages are created or coded or stuff like that. They use a combination of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, but we are going to be focusing mainly on the HTML side of things. What is HTML? How does it work? Preparing the editor. And a very basic web page. I mean, I'm talking like 1980s web pages. Most of y'all probably don't even remember 1980s web pages. Y'all probably weren't born in the 80s. All right. Why are we doing this, or why are we creating this? We're going to do this for a few reasons. One, the e-portfolio, demonstrate our learning, show off our work, and to show others how awesome you are. But it's also another reason we're doing this is like when, and I am saying when because I hope every single one of y'all get into engineering, you do have to know how to do this, at least to some extent. When you get into doing projects and stuff like that in certain classes, they require you to be able to make a website. All right, so we're not doing this just because, websites. We're doing this because there's actually a reason in it, in actually engineering. All right. So the Google sites are actually pretty cool. It's actually a really easy thing that we're going to be able to do. Actually, the HTML is easy and the Google sites are easy, but Google sites allows us to do, has a lot of pre-built templates into it. Even though the templates are pre-built, you can change them around and customize it a little bit. And as of course, with most things in Google, it is absolutely free. All right. So a few things about internet safety. All right. This goes not only for this class, but there's also anytime you're doing anything on the internet. Don't share information about your family, relatives, or friends. You don't want to, post your sister's diary online. She might kill you, or your mom's, or whatever. Don't share your full name or your address, your phone numbers, or location to your house to anyone on the internet. That seems like a no-brainer there, but we'll go ahead and put that one out there too. Don't believe them when... No, I'm not going to finish that thought. Do tell your parents about the Google site. Do tell them, hey, we're going to be making a Google site, and we'll be putting things on there. It'd be a pretty cool little thing to show off to, not only to your parents, but to teachers and maybe your friends. I don't know, depending on what they're into. And make your site private or give a link access only. I'm going to add just one, or actually probably, I'm going to add one thing on here. It's just internet safety in general. When you're doing any type of website that asks you like a security question, like what was your favorite car or your first car, or what was your first dog's name or something like that, don't use the real information. You don't have to put in Foxy for your your first dog. I don't know if that was not my first dog, but you can put in whatever you want to in there, so that way it just helps protect you. Adds another level of security to you. You just have to remember that every time you put in your first dog, you have to remember that it was Foxy and not Bubba or whatever your first dog's name was, or you have a dog. So that's one thing just keep in mind. Like when you're filling out those security questions, you don't have to put the actual answer in there. You can put in 3 exclamation point limit of the quotient or something like that. I just looked on my wall and I just happen to have that on there. So these are words I picked. No, Jaden, you haven't really missed anything yet. Who else has joined us here? I got 2 new people. I'm still missing one. Who else just joined? Jay, I think you've been here. Zach, you just joined, I think. All right. As far as safety, anything on the web can be seen by anyone. And by the web, we also mean the iCloud, or clouds, or all these SkyDrives and Google Dropboxes. They're not as secure as you think they are. All right, if you don't believe me, ask some celebrities here recently who had some stuff leaked out that they didn't want to. Notify your parents of anything questionable. If you think something is not quite right, this probably is. Trust your gut and trust your instinct on some things out there on the internet. Do not put pictures of yourself on the site without your parents' permission. By that, we need the Google site. We all know you have Facebook or Google Plus or whatever, and you got your pictures out there and of your ice bucket challenges or whatever. What else is there? So here we're going to get into the basics of HTML. Now, HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It first appeared on the internet in 1991, became a global standard in 2000. This means that every single website uses HTML, from the ones here in America to the ones in China. All right, everybody uses HTML. And the one we're going to actually be using is HTML5. Now, I'm going to show you a quick thing here. In any web page you go to, right? So here I'm on Google Drive, and you can actually, if you want to look like a hacker but not really knowing what you're talking about, you can. Well, it's not letting me do it here. It can come one other.
You can do it on other websites.
Yeah. So I'm not going to go there. I'll go to Start Talk. That's usually a safe one. So here's just some websites, not a random website because it's one of my favorites I listen to a lot. But if I come here, I right click, I go to Inspect Elements. All this stuff here is HTML. All of this stuff here is HTML. This is how this website is running. We're going to be going to very basic of this, not anything very fancy, but you'll at least understand, what a few of these words are actually talking about. All right. I'm not going to get into internet protocols. All right. Keep in mind that while HTML5 is the newest version, it's only been out for not even a year, Mr. DeToy.
It's about a year. I think they proposed HTML5 a little bit longer ago than that, but yeah, it hasn't been out.
So it's not long over a year though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's one of the newer things out there. It's not a standard set by every single website yet. but it's going to be pretty soon. Um, and you can do some really cooler things with HTML5. Actually, if you just Google HTML5 websites, you'll see a little bit different structures that they're using that you couldn't do with HTML4. Excuse me. So how does the internet work, or how does websites work? Well, they start out fairly simple. As you go and type in a HTML doc or a document, and you type some magical keywords in there that do some magical things, and then it gets uploaded to a server somewhere. Those servers can be anywhere from here to America to Argentina to you don't. The servers don't matter anymore. It's just that's why the World Wide Web is where it comes from. You can have servers anywhere. And then once that document gets uploaded into the server, and you can access that document through a web browser, so through Google or Internet Explorer. I don't know who uses Internet Explorer, but it's still out there. Then when you open up that document on that server from the web browser, it translates all the information. It translates all the information to a website that you can understand, and you see the little internet success kid there doing his thing. He's all excited that he opened up a web page. So only thing the servers do, they just store the information about the web page. They don't translate anything. They don't translate or really compile anything. That's what your computer does. You'll get more of a feel for what I'm understanding or from what I'm talking about when we get into the Arduino side of things. Because I say words like compile and translate, and you're probably thinking I'm speaking German. I promise you I can only speak one language, and it's very bad. I did that one very badly. Browsers take that raw HTML file from that server, so wherever it's at in the world, in Bangladesh or Bangkok or Germany or Switzerland, wherever that server is, and you access that information, your browser, however you're exploring the internet, is actually what translates the information in real time, makes it viewable for you. All right, does that make sense? Is everybody tracking? Yay, nay, maybe. All right, cool. All right, so I haven't lost anybody yet. Your mic is turned off. Say it again, please. Yeah, nice try. I think it might be on your end. Everybody else is. Is anybody having trouble hearing me? Besides Gabe? Okay. All right. I understand. All right. I think Gabe's bandwidth just got pretty full real quick for a minute. So in HTML, and that's actually with any coding language, Java, C++, anything you do, anything coding, you can do it in a very simple way, which is actually the simple way of what we're going to show you here with HTML. We can do a very complex, or not actually complex way, but you can use what's called an IDE or a developer website, which is Adobe Dreamweaver, which you see here, which sometimes they cost money, sometimes they don't. But they do allow you to, the professionals use a lot more sophisticated technology. Now you can do this with Java and C++ and some of the other languages, but there's not a free HTML editor for. Is there, Mr. Latoya?
I haven't even done the research on that. There might be. I just know of one free one that you guys are going to be using.
Oh, all right. Well, but here. Let me get a roll call of who has Windows and who has Macs. Windows, Safari, Linux. Okay, so we do got a few Mac users. All right, I will keep forgetting that. Actually, I probably won't. 3 Macs. Okay, so we have to do this two different ways, and this is going to be one of the word it's going to be a reoccurring thing. Sometimes it's not all the time, but sometimes I will make a difference between Mac and Windows. This is just going to be one of those times. And sometimes the difference is actually really great and really a pain in my rear, and sometimes it's not really that much. So, but here, so if you're in Windows, you can open up Notepad. All right, and I already have one open here. If you don't know where Notepad is, you're wrong. First up, and second, if you just go in here, you can type in Notepad down there somewhere, and you can usually bring it up. Let me bring up a blank one. And for Mac users, I'm sorry, I kind of got sidetracked there. You got to use your text edit. Now, for Mac users, we want to do one thing kind of real quick to. Good question, Mr. Toy. Can you use Notepad++?
As long as whatever text editor you use can create plain text. So basically, you can't do like italics and bold and stuff like that. If you have the options to do it while you're creating the text file, and it's not plain text. But Notepad++, I'm pretty sure, just uses plain text, so that should be fine.
Should be able to use that, David, but if you have an issue, you might have to switch over to Notepad. So for Mac users, you're going to use text edit, but you're going to have to do something kind of different real quick. And let's go ahead and knock this out. So you're going to click on your format menu, and I'm sorry, I just have Windows. That's what I'm used to, so it's kind of hard for me to show you what to do. But click on format menu, select plain text, all right? Mac users, raise your hands or let me know when you have plain text selected. And let me know if you're having a problem with that. We'll try to solve it together. So Mac users, in your text edit, make sure you go to Format menu and select plain text, or select Make plain text. Is everybody tracking with that? Who are my Mac users again? Jaden and Zach. Jaden, cool. All right, cool. Yes. Open up Notepad or text edit. Now, everything from here on out should be the same, hopefully. All right. There's that. All right. So HTML is a little bit different from other language we use. It is a plain text, and it does not translate until the very last moment. So when you open up the page, it's the only time that the information actually gets translated. Other than that, it's stored exactly as it is wherever it's at in the world. All right. So therefore, you don't really need any fancy tools to create your own. You can actually just use a straight up Notepad, and you can write out. I mean, the first websites in the world were written in Notepad or a similar software. All right, and now we're going to start to learn some HTML. That's a perfect picture. All right. So HTML is structured like with any other language. It has discrete keywords. Now in HTML, these keywords are called tags, and they're contained within these angled brackets as you see here, or the less than and greater than signs. It's important to note that the vast majority, they come in pairs. So meaning if you have one that says HTML, you have to have a closing one that also says /HTML. And I'm going to use another example. I don't know if you have one that says dog, even though that's not actually one, you have to have another one that says /dog. So this is like E2 on Gary's mod. Either one, Jaden. Dog or dog. Sorry, my accent did kick in there a little bit. All right. So again, paired tags. If you have one, you have to have another. You have to have a closing one. Um, Unpaired tags, and this part's important here too. Comments are something that you, as a programmer, notes that your program can do. All right, so um, these comments here, even though we're probably not going to get much into them this class, when we get into the Arduino stuff, we will comment the bejesus out of your codes. All right, when you start writing them up. The reason I say that is because like a month from now, or 2 months from now, or a year from now, you're gonna be looking at code that you wrote, and you're gonna be thinking, what is this? I don't remember writing this. You'll forget everything about that code.
It's amazing how quickly you forget.
Yeah, yeah, you will definitely forget everything about it. Like I have code on my computer. I don't know what the heck they do.
Yeah,
They did something really cool, but I don't know what.
yeah, exactly. And there's nothing worse than reading someone else's code that's uncommented, because
That is the worst part.
it's like trying to decipher Egyptian or something.
Yeah, exactly. So like even when a lot of programmers don't like to comment, or let me rephrase that. Some of the old school programmers don't like commenting because they're always worried somebody's going to take their job or something like that. Well, if another programmer can't come in there and read your code, you're not going to have a job for long because they're going to hire somebody who can explain what the code's doing. Exactly, Mr. Gabe. You said especially when the code is unfinished and you have no clue what it is. Yeah, yeah. Actually, I had that problem not too long ago. All right, so this is what I want you to type first. And I'm not the type of teacher that just sits around and make y'all type stuff. I like typing stuff too. So, and then probably want to change this up here. Now, actually, go ahead and type this out. Raise your hands and keep it up when you're done typing, so I'll know. All right, and if you actually beat me typing, you get 1,000 worthless internet points that you can spend at the store of nowhere. Being really slow today, actually. I'm really faster than this. Oh, 4 people. 4 people get 1,000 points. Andrew gets 1,000 points. David got 1,000 points. Jaden got 1,000 points. Kevin. All right, y'all got 1,000 points to spend at the store nowhere. We can buy absolutely nothing.
You're running out of useless internet points at this rate.
Nah, I have an infinite supply. It's the rules. Young engineers.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Teachers have infinite supply, but I can't take points away too. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm learning as I go along too, then.
It's the unspoken rule.
Ah.
All right, so go ahead and get this typed up, and then we might add a few more things to it. Keep your hand up for me, Gabe, if you have it typed, so I'll know. Why don't you indent? What am I supposed to be indenting?
That all comes down to personal preference, really. I mean, technically, you could be indenting the stuff inside of the HTML tags, or you could be indenting the stuff inside of the head and body tags. So it all comes down to personal preference and readability.
Yeah, because I could actually write this just on one complete line, like so here. But yeah, okay, I'll indent for Mr. David, just because he was in my class last semester. But even that is actually still a valid code if I keep going like that. Because one thing I will, and you want to hear me say it quite a few times, is computers are stupid. All right, they're really, really stupid. All right, it's humans that make computers smart, not computers don't make us smart.
Computers make us feel smart, but they don't actually make us smarter.
Yeah. But your computer just passed the 3rd grade. I doubt that. All right, so has everybody got that? Zach, you got that typed out, sir? All right, your hand was up. All right, cool. So right now this does absolutely nothing, but we're going to go ahead and save it so it's in the right location. So I'm going to go to File. I'm going to Save As. Now, fortunately, I already have a thing made somewhere. It's not going to let me show it. No. So you have to do it. You can save the name as whatever you want to. I'm going to save mine as Mr. Pearson. Mr. Pearson's .html. All right, and you have to have the .html on it so the computer knows it's a HTML file. All right, so .html, save it to your desktop just so you know where it's at. All right, and I'm looking at you there, Gabe, who can't even find Google. And then you should have something like this. Here I see Mr. Pearson's, and this is my HTML file. All right, so if I double click on that, absolutely nothing's going to happen, so I'm actually not going to click on that at all yet. All right, actually, yeah, I will, just to prove that nothing's going to happen. So, here. So there it is. It's loading. It's not doing. There's nothing here. There's nothing. So let's fix that problem. Let's make stuff happen. Where is? There it is. All right. So save as. We did that. Hopefully everybody's done that. Save that as HTML, and you have a icon. Code. What have you been modding, Mr. Tatoy?
I haven't really been modding much. I've been making my own stuff, but I have to use Java for school. So.
I was looking at that there. I thought that was some mod that you were creating.
Oh, it's a library. It's a library for games. Okay. There, I'll just go ahead and say
it. You play games? That's bad.
Oh man.
Yeah. What are you thinking? What that leads to?
Terrible, terrible.
Yeah, more games. Procrastination. All right. So here's what the file that we just typed up does. The exclamation .type, that specifically lets the computers and the server know that's HTML5 that we're using. If you weren't using 5, it wouldn't matter. So actually, technically, yeah, you probably don't even need this for what we're doing, but I do want y'all to start using 5. If you actually start running HTML websites, just go ahead and start running HTML5 because 4 will become absolute. You know what word I'm trying to say.
Obsolete.
Obsolete. There you go. Obsolete. Here pretty soon. And then the HTML file here, this tag pair there, that's another kind of like telling the browser where the HTML code starts and where it ends. This is, in my head, in my coding head, I kind of think of this as a opening bracket and this down here as a closing bracket. And that will make sense later on. But this is how, so the code knows it starts here and it ends here. And everything else in between is just the fillers making the code work. Now the head tag, that's kind of like the name of that particular page. So if you can see on my screen here where I have Star Talk Radio right up there on my browser, that is the header. That's in the header, and that's 2 lessons to intro to HTML. All that stuff's the header. So actually, let's go ahead and demonstrate that here. So in between, in the head, right, in between the heads part here, put this is the title or something like that. And then down here in the body, put in this is the body. File, we'll save it.
Mr. Pearson is testing you right now, obviously. This is the first lesson of engineering. Something going wrong and then figuring out exactly what went wrong.
Say that for me one more time.
In essence, I was just explaining that this won't perform exactly like planned.
No, this is not going to do like it's. Yes, you're okay. I see what you're saying. This is not going to do what. This is just. I'll show you what it's going to do eventually. Let me clarify. All right, so here I double click on this. Oops, let me close out this other one. And now I can see. Hopefully, you can see that your 2 sentences that you typed are in your web page now. Raise your hands when you all can see that. It doesn't have to say exactly what mine says. It just has to say something along the lines of something. Yeah, so, Gabe, for this is the title and this is the body, you should put that in the head. One sentence goes in that title, and one sentence goes in the body. Did I lose anybody there? Raise your hands, we all can see that. Cool. Oops. Not working. All right, are you sure you're using the right slash there, Gabe? Make sure you have this slash here. So you have head here, and then this one here has the slash head, and then you have all this stuff. You're on Windows, correct? Everything can't be exactly the same. Something. Open it in. No, it's not strict to Google. It should open up in Internet Explorer. And you saved it as a .html. Like, whatever your name is, .html. All right, I'm going to unmute you. All right, so what's going on? It's not doing, like, when you click on the icon, what's happening, Mr. Gabe?
Hold up. Something's going on. It just opened Office, oddly enough.
That's weird.
Yeah, I was opening Explorer, and now it's opening Office.
All right, the actual icon, can you right-click it? And what browser do you usually use?
I use Google Chrome, but I'm clicking Open With, and it's not even showing up.
So can you try to...
.html? Sorry.
Go ahead, Mr. Toy.
Are you sure it's a .html and not a .txt?
It has .html behind it, but in the type it says text document.
Let's try saving it, resaving it again.
All right.
And triple check the .html.
Save as TML.
And
All right. Yes, now it's working. All right.
Cool.
Thank you.
All right, so let me close out Star Talk Radio. All right, so now here we're going to add the title part here. So add in these 2 lines. Make sure you put it in between that sentence that's in the head, all right, or in between the head tags. So here, move mine over here, and I'm gonna give myself some space. Oops. And make sure you go to File and Save, and then reopen it again. So File, after you do that, File, Save, and then reopen up that that icon, that web page. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to close that one down on you. Put hands down. And you should only see one sentence on the web page now. You see that this is body right here. Now this is title. Look where it moved to. It actually moved to the top of the header file here up top on top of your browser. So you should be able to see that sentence, wherever it is, right up there. So that's how you name the actual web page. All right, raise your hands when y'all can see that. Let me know if you're having an issue. Let me know if you don't understand, if I'm talking German, if I started speaking in tongues. Alright, Zach just sees a blank page. So if you just see okay, Gabe and Zach, did you save it? Go to File and Save, like close the old browser out. Go to File, Save, and then reopen up the browser again. Zach got a closing tag. Did you close out your old browser? Close out the one that you have open that's blank, Gabe. Make sure you go to Notepad, go to File, Save, and then try to reopen it again. That should not be blank. If you have 2 sentences here, this sentence here and this sentence here, you should see both of them. Alright, Gabe just face palmed himself. He figured out what he did. Alright. Cool. So this by title, hopefully y'all saw that, moves it up to the top of the page here. Alright. Okay, here's a good point, and we'll see this again here pretty soon. Tags are always nested, meaning that the tag to be open first should be the last tag closed. All right, and I think we'll get to that pretty soon. So this one was the first one to be open, and hopefully you see here is the last one to be closed. So technically these 4 tags, including this one here, they're all nested in together with each other. All right. So anything you want to apply to the tags have to be put in between the tags. But if I put if I just for some reason don't do this, just put Winker Stifle right here. All right, so this actually won't be a part of the title. It's actually part of the header. All right, and another thing about headers is if you ever heard about cookies and all that other fun stuff, that's where all the information happens here is in the headers, all that stuff. Um, so the body tag. The body tag is actually the most important. That's the one you actually see the most of. So pretty much most of the web pages you go to, is you see the body of the web page. All the pictures, all that stuff, they are in any web page you go to, doesn't matter where, is all of this information that you see is in between these two body tags. This one and this one. Somewhere in some server somewhere in the world, that all the information that you see, that you can physically see, is going on in the body part. Which was what? What I missed, Mr. David? Oh, his Mr. Gay's mistake. He forgot the closing slash in the title tab, or the closing tag. All right. So now there's the different ways of formatting the text. There's actually a whole lot more than what we're presenting here, but this is the fundamentals that's actually built into HTML, the H1 to H6, and if you do on a lot of forum sites and stuff like that, you actually still use these types of codes to make your words bigger and smaller, depending on how you want to write it. So here's H1, H6. The syntax is H is followed by the number 1 through 6. The higher the number, the smaller the text. So if I went H1, let's go ahead and actually do this here. I'll come over here, and here I'll type in H1 here. Close it out. H1, close it out. There we go. File, save, and then my format on my web page, or the words, will be a whole lot bigger. And I'll bring it back up in a second. I know I probably did that kind of quick. Here. H1, H1. So if I went a higher number, these words would get smaller. All right? Is everybody tracking like a VCR here? Check.
Well, I'm just going to go ahead and interrupt and say I'm going to bow out so
right.
I can prepare for the next one.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah. Good luck. Don't let Mr. Pearson be too hard on you.
All right, cool. All right, so next up, so that's just a simple formatting. Again, this is the very basics of HTML. The paragraph tag. This allows you to, well, have paragraphs because, you need those. All right, this is more of the formatting stuff, which is actually important in websites. I hate when I go to a website and everything's like all over the place and it doesn't make any sense. And yeah, all that other fun stuff. It's actually a really cool design. A lot of websites are based off the golden ratio. It's actually a really cool aspect to look into. I won't get into it too much now because it's math and my head hurts already. So here, this allows us to do a paragraph. These P's here, all right, opening P, closing P. So it doesn't matter the format in which it's in, even though that this is on a different line here, or also on the same line, the computer reads it as two different lines. All right, so P, closing slash P. I'm going to kind of speed up a little bit here, y'all, so forgive me because I think I'm going way too slow. Actually, you know what? Let's you don't have it posted. All right. All right. Well, you can also do bold letters by using the B, the opening tag B, closing tag B. So this will make anything you type in there as bold, and this can be in the header or in the body, but you probably won't be able to see it in the title because it's on the top of the web page. You can use italics. So open I, or we'll call this I, then you close it out again with a forward slash, and then you put your text into italics. Now, I know, or at least I'm pretty sure that this still works on Reddit. I don't think the H1H stuff works. How do you do upside down? I do not know the answer to that, but I will find out because I want to know now. What are you doing upside down? No. All right. Underlying this U, so you got I for italics, B for bold, U for underline, and S actually strike through. So this will, for whatever reason you want to strike through words instead of just deleting them, you can do that with S. I don't know why you would do that, but some people do it. And you can combine the tags too. So if I wanted bold and italics, I can use B and I together in conjunction with each other, and it's going to make it bold and italics. Now, an important thing to note is also the opening and closing. So this is the first one to open, B, and this is the last one to get closed. I can easily reverse this order, and it's going to do the exact same thing, but I have to make sure that the order gets reversed here. All right, so you got I, S, B, and H1 through 6 for formatting. Line break. So line break is exactly what it sounds like. It breaks the line for whatever reason. Maybe you want the sentence to start down there at the bottom. And this does, I don't know, I ain't gonna lie, I don't know much about HTML, but a lot of our friends do. They said this is actually a big thing because, like, when you're doing websites like, now they pull up start out. The only reason I keep going to this one because I know it's safe and stuff like that. So this X prize, all this stuff here, I don't know this website particularly, but probably there's a line break right here in this sentence. So it brings it down to the next part. So that is actually something that's actually used quite a bit in actual HTML coding. Ordered list and unordered list. So if you want to create a list of objects, you can have the UL, which is unordered, which creates bullets. So this is a unordered list, which creates just bulletin points. And you have OL right here. Hopefully y'all can see that, which is ordered list, which actually will list out the one. I think it does the 1, 2, 3 for you. So you don't. Yeah, it does. So you have to put the 1, the 2, and 3. You just make it a ordered list in the body, and it will create a 1, 2, 3, 4. You can make out whatever points you want to for that. All right. So we said no tests, but we did not say anything about quizzes. So hopefully everybody understood all that. And let's, yeah. All right, so let's do this. Give your page a heading, the largest size possible, and a welcoming message of your choosing. Mr. Gabe thinks he's going to pass with an F. Raise your hands when you think you have that. Remember, the largest size is H1. I'm not sure how the heading thing. Let me try that actually. let's see. Here's how I'm going to try this here. H here. Close it out. H. Welcome any message of my choosing. So I'll go with 4 here. 4 here. I'll save, and let's see what happens here. Let's see. Yeah, okay, the title thing did not work. I think that was more working the title. Guess I can put the welcoming title down here. I think that's what it was asking for. Alright. Go ahead and do that. Yeah, I did not like the way Mr. Toy phrased that. Alright, what's next? Has everybody got that? Looks like I think everybody has it. So, write a short paragraph of a couple sentences about you, but leaving out. Actually, just make up a paragraph about yourself. Don't even make it about you. Make it what the you want to be. I'll break out psychology on there. You turn it in by Mr. Gabe asks, how do you turn it in? Oh, thank you, Mr. Dave. I did not know that. Refreshing the page will show you the new edits. How you turn it in is you turn it into your soul, Mr. Gabe, so you know that you've accomplished this one thing in life without cheating. You sold my soul to me. You sold your soul to me. Sure, just for a minute. All right, raise your hands when you have the paragraph done. Wow, hands just shut up quick. Let's see how much time we got. All right. Let me know if you're having trouble with it. The paragraph, remember, it's P. P is for the paragraph, and then closing it out. Put it in the body is what he's asking for. Put it in the body. Now I'm gonna go ahead and give out another little disclaimer too. Just in this class, we're probably gonna be using a lot of softwares that you're not familiar with. We're gonna be using Scratch. We're gonna be using Arduino. We're gonna be using 3D modeling and stuff like that. Anytime we do any new software, the first day or the first couple of days is actually usually very slow because we had to get you accustomed to how everything works. So like today, I think today was pretty slow. Yes, raise your hands when you're done, please. Today was pretty slow, but tomorrow, or not tomorrow, the next class, I'll probably speed it up a little bit. And yeah, I mean, that's just going to be the way, that's going to be the way it's going to kind of go. When we get into the coding, how to make a list. Yes, I can. Mr. Jaden wants to know how to make a list. There it is. The paragraph, Zach, the quotation marks. Wednesday. Maybe it is Firefox. Here, let me try. Did you put it in the paragraph form? Ah, right. Let's see. I just see what y'all are talking about. There, y'all happy? Alright. Oh baby, a triple. I be a nuclear engineer. This is a sentence for this thing. All I want to do is pass this class. Now give me my A. Sure, you can have it. Actually, we don't give out A's. I'll give you 25 internet points. Alright, has everybody got that? When did I fail, Mr. David? Do you not know this reference here? Alright, so we got the paragraph done. Alright, one thing I am really bad at, y'all, is remembering where we are. So y'all are going to have to help keep track of me. So we got the paragraphs, remember that. Alright. You do fail at HTML. I know it's 801. Alright, so I am going to end class now. Not today, Mr. Gabe. If I didn't have relativity to study, I'd be all over that. What did that do last time? What do you mean last time? Let me unmute. David, you're talking. What are you talking about, Mr. David?
Wednesday.
What about Wednesday?
Did you have a webinar thing on Wednesday?
One more time, sir.
Did you do a webinar on Wednesday?
Yes, you were here.
No, I wasn't.
Oh, yeah, I thought you were here.
You can check your email.
Oh, I thought you were for the late one. I posted it online. You can watch it there. The only thing we did, David, was go over the introduction to engineering, and I think you've already seen that, haven't you? Last semester.
Probably.
Yeah, I think you saw it last semester. So you didn't miss anything that you haven't seen before. This is now new stuff.
Okay.
All right, cool. But it is online, and we will be posting these online. Hopefully, knock on wood, within 24 hours. It doesn't always work that way, but yeah. So, are there any final questions for me? I didn't find it. It's not on my webpage anymore, David. You have to go to Edmodo to get it. So you have to go to Young Engineers page to get it. You know what? I'll get the address for you next class, and I'll send it your way. And trucking computers. Thanks for All right, y'all. By the way, these web pages, you can't see them online yet because they don't have them on a server. They only exist on your computer for right now. All right, y'all. I'm gonna have to bid y'all adieu until next class. I will see y'all Wednesday. Bye.